Live again. Live again, guys. Live again. So, Saturday. It is Saturday. So, yeah, I thought we would have a chat about a few different things. But I've got a few subjects I want to talk about. But yeah, this is quite a flexible chat in that if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, raise it in the comment area and we can talk about anything kind of tech or gaming related. We can chat about it. So yeah, for I know there was a few people waiting there to come on. So thanks to those people for waiting. And before I open up the browser and all that, I'll wait a few minutes just to a few people come on. But the topics I was kind of wanting to focus on. Hey, Time Bandit. The topics I wanted to focus on. iPhone 11, just want to touch upon that again. I want to talk about the Google Pixel 4 because that's the next big phone that is out this year. And in my stream of Call of Duty yesterday, we were talking about Twitch streaming. So I'd like to talk about that at towards the end of the video as well. Just talk about that and talk about my thoughts on it. Yeah, just give my overall opinion. How you been, Time Bandit? How are you? How's things with you? Actually quite cold. I don't know why I took my jumper off there. I'm quite cold now. I should really put it back on. I think the summer is going away. Sheep farming. Sheep farming is a fantastic subject. You can start us off. Your contract's up in 5 months. What have you got just now, Time Bandit? Have you downloaded? If you've got a PlayStation, have you downloaded Call of Duty? Have you got it in pre-order? S9 Plus. Oh, well, that's a very good phone. Flagship phone. Are you going to go 7 free or contract? Yeah, the Google Pixel. I mean, every year the Google Pixel, they say it's the best phone of the year, but it's one of those things, it comes out 6 or 7 months after the Samsung phone. So they say that's the best phone of the year, and then 3-4 months later, Samsung release a phone that blew out the water. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess in the calendar year, it's probably the best phone, but that's always going to be weighted against the ones at the start of the year. The companies that release phones at the end of the year obviously have an advantage. They've got an extra 6-7 months of development. Show me the money. Right. I wonder why they streamed it. The Stream Deck thing that I use, it's not showing me who's online. That's annoying because it's one of the main reasons I use it. But yeah, I want to talk about phones in this video, guys. I want to talk about phones. About the iPhone 11, I watched a few videos about it. I saw it in Hot UK Deals. There's a deal in Hot UK Deals where it comes down from $729 to like $650. Still very, very expensive though. But I've seen a few people talking about the fact that basically Apple have just put out a minor refreshment, but this is essentially to bide some time until they do a really big upgrade next year. But I don't know. Going to try an iPhone next. Interesting. Cyberpunk CE. Not tried that. I've not played it. Yeah, I saw a video from... Oh, God. I can't remember the YouTuber's name now. He's a good YouTuber. He does, like, monitor reviews and all that. He's an Asian guy. Really, really good. And what's his name? I can't remember. Phones are all about relatively incremental improvements. Yeah. And even I would agree with that. And even when something is a major improvement, we've got the Snapdragon 855 in the Android world, and now they've released the Snapdragon 855 Plus. But when you go from that to the Snapdragon 865, you're talking 20% more power, maybe 20% more efficiency, that kind of thing. Sometimes there is a bit more of a jump, 30% more battery and things like that. Young Ye. No, I can't remember who it is. I watch his videos a lot as well. That's bad. Anyway, what he was talking about he was talking about the iPhone, and what he was talking about was the significance of them dropping the price of the iPhone. He was saying that in America anyway, we're paying £729 here in the UK, but in the USA they've dropped the price down to $699, which is significantly cheaper than it is in the UK. But he says they've dropped it down from, I think it was like $749 down to $699. So they've dropped to $50. Still ridiculously expensive. But what they're saying is that basically last year, I've looked at the figures, I looked at this in a different article, and over the last year, basically Apple have lost about 15% of the phone market. And Huawei went up like 30%. It's insane how much of the market they have grabbed. But during that time, iPhone's revenue has shot up because of all the services and apps like Apple Music, Apple Arcade that's coming out, all the different app revenue and all that. And it was just talking about how dropping the price will help them to make more money with, with selling apps and basically making money through the digital services. Makes me wonder why they didn't drop the price even more. Because the iPhone 11 is outdated on release. Certainly, maybe not from the CPU point of view, but a lot of the elements of the design are kind of dated already. So why not drop it down a little bit more, get more people on the Apple boat, and get more people to buy apps? I would buy an iPhone if it was a little bit cheaper. I wouldn't rule out buying one of these ones. I know situations change, but if they drop the price of the Apple phone, there's going to be a lot of people that are maybe on the fence because it's a little bit too expensive. They would maybe jump on board, and then these people are, spending money on Apple Music. They're spending money on Apple storage. They're buying apps. Apple's going to make more money like that. Yeah, 10 to 15 years ago, the leaps were more significant. I remember when I bought the iPhone. I bought the iPhone 4, right? I loved the iPhone 4. I absolutely loved it. And I went into the Apple store and I bought it. £600, 7 free, bought it there and then. At the time, that was the most expensive phone I had bought, and probably by quite a big margin. Like, probably the most expensive one before that was that cool Nokia Sirocco one. But yeah, that was a significant jump in price. And now Apple are selling phones which are what, £1,100, £1,200. God, you can get one at like £1,500 if you go for the top storage. It's insane, absolutely insane. What I will say as well, side story with the Apple iPhone, is that Apple blocked me from using my phone for about 6 months. I went to South America about a year or so after that, took my iPhone, and they just blocked me from using it. I couldn't make any calls, which wasn't a deal breaker because I wasn't using my phone a lot for calls and that. But they completely blocked it. So I sent them an email saying, listen, you blocked my phone. No, it's under contract. You'll need to contact your provider. I was like, I bought it in the store. No. This went back and forth for months. They were waiting weeks to reply to me. I was like, listen, stop blocking my phone. I bought this phone SIM-free in the shop, and I sent them the receipt. And they're like, no. Eventually, after about 4 or 5 months, it might have been 6, I think it was maybe 6 months of me not being able to use my phone because they put on some block. I could use the Wi-Fi in it, but I couldn't use it for calls. They eventually said, oh yeah, it turns out you were telling the truth. You did buy it SIM-free. We're sorry. As an apology, do you know what they gave me, guys? Do you know what they gave me? They gave me 99 cents for iTunes. 6 months of not using their phone. Yeah, thanks, Apple. Yeah, £600 is mid-range. It's insane. I mean, well, it's one of those things. This is happening in the Android world as well. You've got the Google Pixel phone that's coming out about £900 a grand. Samsung, their Note range is about £900 or a grand. Even their S10 range, it always comes out about £700, £800 before it drops in price. Not even $1. And can I just point out, I never used iTunes for music. I used the app, but I never bought music from the service. The top phones just now are as much, if not more, than decent laptops. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, the new Fold as well wasn't working. There was a good article this was an article I wanted to talk about. So if I jump over my browser, so this is the Apple website, and to be honest, if I was buying an iPhone, and I wouldn't rule it out. Maybe I'll buy an iPhone 11 just to try it out and all that, but still think it's still a little bit more expensive than it should be. What was attracting me to the iPhone 11, it's not the design, it's the recording. You know, being able to record 4K 60 frames per second from the front camera is amazing. And if I looked at, I mean, I've not really looked at some good samples of it yet. It was all kind of marketing videos that I saw. But if I see some videos of people doing it and it was amazing, I'd maybe buy it just from a YouTuber's point of view. But it's still very, very expensive for what it is. But I'd probably buy the 11 over the Pro just because it's got the same front camera and the back camera's, you know, it's going to be much the same. But I did see this article on Giz China. I think it was quite good. Apple's new iPhone 11 series are overpriced and somewhat is overpriced. That's weird reading it that way. Is overpriced and somewhat outdated. It's one of those things. That's kind of like a blanket statement. It's not 100% true because I've actually got the comments away over here now. I'll bring the comments over to the screen. It's not 100% true because the CPU in the iPhone 11 is actually pretty good from what I've read. Thapple. The Fold. I like the idea of the Fold, Time Bandit, but I'd rather wait till they kind of figure out some of the problems with it. Yeah, Google went from the cheapest, you know, brand with their Nexus range to the one of the most premium ones. But now, here saying this, you know, is it somewhat dated? I do agree with it. Comprehensive screen solution. Right, that's a camera comparison. Right, this is a really bad article. I wish I didn't. There was one part. Yeah, it was the fast charging part. So this was the part that I really wanted to talk about because this other part is absolutely idiotic. Because see, even like this saying the telephoto lens of the iPhone is capable of fourfold. Not bad, but the Huawei P30 Pro can achieve 5 times optical zoom. It can 10 times hybrid, 50 times digital. That's all good, but it doesn't always tell you the full story. You know, it's like this has got a 50 megapixel or 100 megapixel camera, and then there's a camera at 8 megapixels that trounces it. These kind of things are a little bit misleading, but the fast charging thing is a very good point. It's the first time they've actually included a fast charger. But this is like 4 or 5 years after other Android phones have been doing it. The fast charger one I've got with Huawei is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It charges things so quickly. It's 5 volts. Was it missing? Yeah. But then this, I mean, that's 100% true, but it's the same criticism could be laid at so many other phones. That has just started playing music to me. I hate this. See, this is one of the things I hate. See when I try to bring up some different websites to talk about the things I want to talk about, every single website, it is just eye and ear cancer. You know, there's just so many video ads and pop-ups and different things that come up. It's absolutely annoying. And it's sort of like, and I'm not even a big fan of pop-up blockers because I realise it hurts, you know, website owners' income like myself, but it's people like this that actually force people to get ad blockers. Anyway, I digress. That music annoyed me there. Yeah, so there are a few areas here. The headphone jack, yes, a very good point, but at the same time, most of the other Android phones now are starting to drop it as well, which is annoying, but yeah, that's happening. Expandable storage, yeah. 64 gigabyte is the base model. Another 100 for the 128 and all that. You know, they're still taking the piss with this expandable storage thing. They really are taking the piss with this. 60 hertz screen. Again, the screen's out there with 90 hertz with 120 hertz and all that. Reverse wireless charging functionality. It's one of those things. It's a nice feature, but it's not essential. It really isn't essential. Lacks innovation. This is a really bad article when I read it. I'm just going to close this down because I wish I didn't share that one. But in general, I think the new iPhones are nice phones. They are nice phones. The notch makes it look a little bit dated, I think. I don't think it would bother me, but it does make it look a little bit dated. I've got Brave browser installed as well. Although the whole idea of that is a little bit annoying. I don't know if you guys would agree with it. I've got maybe a different opinion on pop-up blockers than you guys. But yeah, the iPhone, I think, is a good phone. It's dated in some ways, and it does lack, some of the things you would expect for a phone. Not least that the phone is significantly more expensive than other phones that do offer that functionality. It's a little bit of a surprise that they're charging. Not a surprise, that's a lie. It's Apple, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit surprising that they continue to charge so much for their phones, and they're saying, "Wow, we give you a fast charger," and it's like companies have been doing it for 3 or 4 or 5 years or whatever. It's just one of those things. I think they've put out a really kind of minor refresh this year so that they can put out a really major refresh next year, but I don't know. I'm going to go off topic here, but no, let's see, we're talking about Brave. Now, see all these tech websites you load up and there's like 4 or 5 video ads and music's playing and all that. That is why people install ad blockers. It's because of idiots like that are trying to, just squeeze out every little bit of revenue from a content website. And I realize that the content industry, someone who does writing and someone who's owned lots of content blogs, I realize that it is very, very competitive. I realize that, money's down and all that. But these guys have actually killed it. They've killed the whole industry with this crap. But that being said, I've spoke to the guys from Brave. They actually emailed me about installing it and all that kind of stuff. I did install it. But what I don't like about it is like ad blockers and basically browsers now that are blocking ads. What Brave does is, say for example, I had sponsors on my website and I've lost thousands of dollars, tens of thousands through ad blockers. But say I've got advertisements on my website. Brave contact me and say, hey, we'll give you these Brave credit things, rewards. But what they're actually doing is when people visit my website, they are not being shown my ads. They're getting shown their ads and they're getting the money. And then they'll say, oh, we can give you some of it back, which is absolutely ridiculous because I'm the one producing the content. I'm the one paying for writers to write. I'm the one that's paying for hosting, spending all the time updating the website. It's basically theft, what they're doing. But by that same token, I do understand why ad blockers are there because of idiots like that put video ads that will play music and videos and rant over. Just ordered the Fold. Ow! Let me know how that goes. Time Bandit 1500 is a lot. People will still flock to it. Well, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, see, I don't know why I picked that article. I looked at a few articles. I picked that one because I saw the list of different things. But the article was quite poorly written when I look at it now. But that's the thing. Saying that it's outdated, it's outdated in some ways, but not others. It doesn't have the latest refresh rates that are available. Doesn't have some of the wireless charging features. It's finally got fast charging, but it's not even as fast as, the other people's like OnePlus, Samsung, Huawei have all got faster charging. So in some areas it is kind of dated, certainly when you're talking about a premium smartphone. But it does have a fast CPU. It will be snappy to run. It does have good cameras. And 4K 60 frames per second at the front camera. Is... I mean, I can't think of any other phone that does have that right now. So, I don't know. But I still think it's vastly overpriced. And I'm talking about the iPhone 11 Pro, $1,000 or more than $1,000 in the UK, £1,050 for the 64GB model. It's ridiculous. But Apple is a brand that people will buy regardless. Yes, there's a percentage of people that don't care, they'll just buy it. But a lot of Apple customers as well, whenever I'm talking about phones, I'll talk about the 7-free price. I'll talk about that phone's 500, that phone's 700, that phone's 300. Most Apple customers say that's £40 per month, that's £50 per month, that's, $100 per month or whatever. They view it as a contract rather than, basically what it is. They pay it up. No, I do, where I'm coming from the ads. I mean, it's one of those things. I basically have companies stealing my revenue as such, and his revenue isn't high. I've lost so much money from this over the years. I've probably lost about half my monthly income from ads from my websites because of ad blockers and because of different things like that. And then you've got other people as well. Like back in the day before ad blockers, you also had people, and what they would do was URL redirect. Like they put your website in a frame to give to people a better experience. But then what they do is put an advertisement at the top. So people are seeing an ad before they see your website. So it's things like that. People will steal your website. And the thing is, you're paying for the bandwidth cost and all that kind of stuff. Pericles, how do you pronounce that? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Good to see you. I saw your comment today. Customers don't care about price or specs. Yeah, a lot of them don't. They'll just need that Apple drug. For a lot of people, yeah. I mean, if I bought an Apple phone, it would be for the video recording of the camera. That's the main reason I would buy one. And not that I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to, but that's why I would buy it. Not the saying there, you don't have to block ads if you don't want to. See that though, that argument, I've had that from people before as well. And I've had people saying, I don't know what your article doesn't make sense, or your website doesn't make, it's not working, that isn't displaying properly. And I'm like, am you using an ad blocker? No, I always unblock your website. I'm like, check it again. And they're like, oh, sorry, I am. And a lot of people that say they do support your website, they don't unblock the ads. So there's certain scripts that get caught up when someone blocks an ad, like JavaScript, and there's a few things in the background that don't work 100% sometimes with ad blockers because they're blocking some other things. And I've had that in the past where people complain, like, oh, your website's broken. I'm like, yeah, you're messing up with your ad blocker. Ad blockers are probably a little bit better now. Time Bandit, I'm really expecting to see holograms and stuff like that. I'm getting a bit bored. You never know. I'll bring up the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Might as well have a look at it, guys. That's quite impressive that you're buying that. I did like the look of the first one that came out, despite the fact that it was broken. The new Galaxy Fold 5G. Maybe this is the one that's going to convince me to drop a ton and a half. Let's see. 5G as well. 5G is still not there either. It's an amazing concept. It really is. If they do this right, this is going to convince a lot of people to go over to them. But what Apple will obviously do is watch it and then refine it. It does look good. I do like this idea, and I think this is maybe the next evolution. It's probably going to hurt the tablet market because you wouldn't really need a tablet if you had this. If they do this right, this could be amazing. If they do this right. And I reckon it's going to be a few generations before it's really good, but this could end up being the standard in the next few years. But is there a gallery at the top? I think there is. Experience. Where's the gallery? So you can use that front. You could use that at the front without opening it up. 2 screens, 1 experience. That's cool, guys. That is cool. I know it's a little bit gimmicky as well, but it is a great idea. I suspect it'll have something like, it'll be like, so many folds before it breaks and all that, but I'd make sure you get a good warranty with that. No, I do like the idea of this. I think that if they pull this off, it'll be good. Like, there's actually been a few iterations of this from other Chinese companies, but they're, they didn't really get it right. But even like looking at this, it just shows you that maybe you could use this with a wireless keyboard, and maybe you could use it like that, and then you just take a keyboard with you, and you don't have to take a tablet or your laptop. You just plug it in like that. Very interesting. I think there's a lot of die-hard people starting to get pissed off with them. I know a few people that have moved away from them as well. What are you paying for that, Time Bandit, if you don't mind me asking, for the contract? The foldable Samsung is going to be released soon. Yes, that's a good point. Is it Pericles? Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Yeah, I think that is a good point, though. I mean, I don't know how the Gorilla Glass will work with that. If it's bendable, if you drop it, is it good? I mean, like, how do you even put a case on a phone like that? Even things like that. How do you put a phone on that? Put a case on that phone. It's quite. I don't know how they're going to do that. Yeah, no, this yeah, there's always people that push the envelope and take the piss out of people, and that changes people's habits and all that. It's one of those things. I don't even fight it anymore. If you look at my website, I've just completely removed banner ads and any. I never use pop-ups anyway. Really, I think I used pop-ups for a sign-up form once years ago, but I hardly ever really used them. So I've just removed it. I've removed it. £173 a month. Wow. That is a lot. That is a lot. My God. That is a huge amount of money. What do you get with that then? Is that like, what kind of deal is that? Are you a power user that uses like 300 gigabyte of bandwidth every month? That's a lot, Time Bandit. That is a lot of money. Certainly over, what is it, 2 years that? Or are you paying it, would that be over a year or would that be over 2? Yeah, that'd be probably over. Or are you paying that over? Yeah, that'd be 2 years you're paying that over. That is a lot of money. In the meantime, what I want to quickly show you, just jump over, I want to show you this phone. So this is the Rubia Red Magic 3S. I've came across these phones before. Look at this one. Snapdragon 855 Plus, 5,000 milliamp battery. It's going to be selling about the $400 mark. And where is it here? It's got the specs down here. So USB 3.0. So that's there. It's got waterproof rating IMX 586, f1.0, 8K, 1080p. It's hard to actually see this because it's obviously through Chinese, but did they summarize it here? Where did they summarize it? There was a part I looked at. Right, retains a single 48 megapixel alright, sorry, I was looking at that as if it was the waterproof. 48 megapixel Sony sensor. Up to 8K video shooting. On the front is a 16 megapixel. So the back they've got a camera sensor that can do 8K video. 27 watt fast charging. Again, Apple's got 18. 5,000 milliamp battery. 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. 8 gigabyte of RAM. Let's see here. Oh, it's 8 and 128, or 12 gigabyte of RAM and 256 gigabyte of storage. This thing is an absolute beast. It's crazy, there's phones like that coming out as well, and I realise that's a kind of gaming style mobile phone. The design isn't going to please everyone, but it's not too bad. I mean, at the end of the day as well, you can stick that in a case. But that looks like an absolute beast of a phone as well. And for $400, and it's a reminder that yes, the iPhone and all that is good, but when you get phones like that out there, it's harder to justify it. That's a year contract, right? So how much? So what is the retail? Let's do some basic maths here. Basic maths. You're talking £2,076 over the course of a year. So you're paying another $576 for the contract, depending on what you're getting. I mean, it's a hell of a lot of money. It is a hell of a lot of money, but you're paying it over a year. I don't know how much more you're paying over retail, but you're getting your contract and all that as well. So maybe it doesn't work out to be that bad. It's a crazy amount of money though for a phone. It's the price you pay to get the latest tech. I'm certainly not going to rush out there and pay that kind of money for it. It does look like a good phone though. I do think it looks like a good phone. On the subject of nice segue there. On the subject of good phones, we can jump over, and again, talking about eye cancer. You guys can't see it. There's another pop-up at the top here asking me about notifications. I'll bring the chat over. Hugh would happily pay £1,200 for a phone. Do you guys have an Nvidia Shield? No, I don't have it, but I know they're well regarded. See the amount of goddamn things I need to click just to look at a page. Right, okay. Right, so there's been quite a few leaks out there. Google themselves have released a few images as well. That's kind of what people are saying the Google Pixel is going to look like. They've got a quad camera in the back. Or I think, is that a triple camera in fact? Sorry. It's a triple camera with a flash. But that's what it looks like. It's quite basic, when you look at it like that big. I've always liked the aesthetics of them. You know, the really nice kind of design, very kind of minimal look. No more ads, go away. You're proving the ad blockers right. So yeah, here's the renders. Let's see. I mean, the thing is, there's not a huge difference between all these phones, you know, at the back, but it does look like there's 2 camera sensors there. But there's a lot of rumors out there already as to what they're going to do and all that. What I'm kind of interested about though is not the Pixel 4, it's the Pixel 4a. I think what they did with the Pixel 3a was quite good. I like the idea of that. With the Pixel 3a, you've got a really good camera. The processor isn't as fast, but at the end of the day, I'd be happy with a mid-range processor because I think they're very good now, and you know, match it up with a really good camera because the camera's what you're paying for. But I don't know. I've not seen any information about that yet. If you look at here, it's actually a face unlock infrared camera there. That's what the dual camera is, by the looks of it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. You know, with a lot of these rumors, you know, you read it and you think, you know, and a lot of it turns out to be true. A lot of it turns out to be absolute crap. Are they actually going to release a new version of the Shield? I've seen a few deals on them. Hugh's on the trolling again. You think they're reasonably priced? Pixel phones are glorified HTC phones. That's a bizarre statement. So, the Pixel, basically what he's referring to is half the company of HTC went to Google, and they are focused on the Pixel, but it's completely different software, completely different, you know, setup. Yeah, I know that, Hugh. But I don't think you can compare like for like. That's like comparing, you know, Samsung make the Samsung Note, but they also make phones which cost £10. Do you know what I mean? It's being made by the same company doesn't mean that the products are the same. That they're aimed at different parts of the market. You know, HTC are targeting the kind of mid end of the market, mid range, and Google are clearly targeting, well, certainly with the Google Pixel 4 will be the top end of the market, and the 3 or 4A will be the mid range. Dolphin emulator doesn't work as good as expected. Hope the next Shield to emulate it better. So are you using that as a tablet, or are you using it to play games? Because the Shield brand was used for a few different things, wasn't it? I've heard lots of good things, and one of the things that really kind of attracted me to the Shield was that, and this is one of the things that you didn't know at the time, but apparently they have continued to update the Shield over and over and over. They are still supporting this. What is it now, 4 or 5 years later? That's amazing. That's amazing, and that's something that should be applauded because it's something that we don't talk about enough. The fact that there's so many companies out there that promise the world, that promise updates, but then they just completely drop support. And that's what I found the other year. I bought the HTC, was it U-Sense 11, whatever, the U11 I bought the other year. £600 from Carphone Warehouse. Within 6 months, they'd given us 2 updates, and the second update decimated the battery to the point where the phone was unusable, and I just sold it a couple of months later. But there was no further updates in a year. 2 updates in a year, none in the last 7 months that I had it. No more updates, and this was from a major company. And then I got the Xiaomi Poco phone, and it's still getting updates a year or so later, and that's kind of what is going on with the Shield. I think I'm guilty of this as well, but when we look at phones, we're looking at the specs, and we're looking at the camera, and we're looking at all this stuff, but you do have to take into account software updates, certainly if you're keeping a phone for more than a year. Hey, Paul. The guys who was the HTC main designer now works on the Google phones. That's why they look dated. I didn't know that. I mean, I know they took 50% of the company over. Ah, right. So you're emulating Wii and GameCube. Not as good as expected. I mean, I was talking about this the other day. I've not actually emulated really anything beyond the SNES. Really, I've tried to emulate like the Nintendo 64. I mean, I'm sure my computer could do it now. I've just not got involved in it. But whenever I tried like Nintendo 64 and all that, it was always a little bit kind of blocky and stuff. I do have the PlayStation 1 Classic though, so I might be able to put, you know, from what people have said, I can put a ton of things into that as well. And no, let's just get the full console. So what one have you got? In fact, I'll check this out, guys. I'll check this out and see what we can. Because there are a few devices, aren't there? So there's the Shield. Does the website actually show you everything, or just the ones that are still? Because the website shows you the NVIDIA. Look on the website. This is advertising NVIDIA Shield TV. 4K entertainment, but obviously that's not what you're referring to. There's the NVIDIA Shield tablet, but then there was another one as well. Is there, what do you think, Wikipedia? Is Wikipedia the best bet here? Maybe we get, I'm not spelling it right. Shield tablet. So there's the Shield tablet. That was the one I was thinking of there, 2014. But apparently this is still getting updated a lot, I think. Is that, so who's got this one? Is this the one you've got? No less trouble with a lot of devices. They lose all interest and update it once new models are out. Yeah, I know. But, you know, consumer based, we don't actually punish them for that. We don't punish them for that. I have my Shield in the closet since Christmas. So that, wait there, was there has it got a page for the Shield range? What one have you got, Norlis? Is this the one you've got? Is this the one that Pericles has? Who has this one? I remember this one. The Shield tablet with Shield controller and direct stylus. I remember this one. But I'll be honest, I remember when this came out, I just assumed this is one of those ones where, you know, it probably would have been dropped very quickly. And it's unbelievable that NVIDIA has supported this for so long. It's held its price, something awful. I remember it was one of the fastest ones, you know, the fastest tablets out at the time. It says released an update 2017. Was that the last update? I'm sure it was updated after that, but maybe I'm wrong. Shield TV is what you have, right? So does that work in the same? Does that work in the same way? Let's look at the specs here. Let's look at the specifications. So this is what Knowledge has got. Basically, it's like an Xbox One controller design, but with the kind of PlayStation 4 button layout, with an Amazon Fire Stick remote control. That's kind of what it looks like. 4K HDR, 60 frames per second. So we can do 4K 60 frames per second, 1080p at 60, Dolby Atmos, Tegra X1 processor, 3 gig of RAM, Android 8.0. Looks pretty good. How much did you pay for it? How much did you pay for it, Norlis? How much did you pay for it? Was it did you get it on second hand? Or did you buy it brand new at the time? Shield TV looks awful. Just buy a Xbox in it. You're comparing a media you're comparing a media streaming emulation type system against a full console. €189, right? So you're talking the best part of 200. Special offer, right? It looks like it's right now it looks like it's 159.49 without the controller. I mean, these kind of things, it's one of those things where if you're not going to use it, it's awful, it's pointless, and it'll end up in the cupboard. But that's, it's the same with all tech. If you spend a lot of money on it, if you're actually going to use it, it's all good. Xbox does media, so you're saying you can play emulated games through an Xbox, you can play IPTV through an Xbox without hacking it. 155 now. Yeah, but the same could be said, Hugh. The same could be said about the PlayStation. The PlayStation can do Netflix and Amazon and Now TV and all that as well. I thought I could use it as a portable console to bring it to friends' places, but lags emulating Wii. To be honest, would you not have been better just getting a Wii and chipping it? Because the Wii can play GameCube games, can't it? The original one can. I don't know if the later ones can, but the original Wii could play GameCube games. And if you chipped it to play illegal games, you might be able to. I don't know. I mean, I've not looked into this. I'm just kind of talking out loud here. I don't know if there's a way for you to plug in a hard drive or something and play emulated games, or if there's like a flash disc or something you can do it. I don't know. I mean, I've got the Wii U, which can play Wii games, so it's a system that I might actually buy games for in the future. What I would say though, I loved the Wii when I had it. I've still got some Wii games, for the Wii U and all that. But what I would say is, see the user interface for the Wii, not the Wii U, the Wii. It is so slow and cumbersome and just annoying. It's a pain in the ass. It's a pain to use. Norris uses it for Netflix and YouTube. Never played games on it. I mean, if you're playing 4K videos at 60 frames per second, it's probably worth it for that alone. Because you can be like 100 or so for a media streaming device. Did you guys see? I'll get this for you because it should still be advertised on Amazon's homepage. Where is it here? They've been advertising it a lot. I'll need to find this. Amazon devices. So what I'm looking for here, Amazon devices. The Fire TV Cube. That's what I was looking for there. For whatever reason, there it's there. So Amazon released this the other week. Fire TV Cube. And it's a more powerful version of the Fire Stick, I guess. Best way to look at it. But it can also do Alexa. The idea with this is that it can play 4K video and all that, but you can walk into the room and say, Alexa, turn on the television, if you don't want to look for the remote control. But it's kind of another step towards everything being hands-free and voice-assisted. But again, this is £110, 4K Ultra HD. If you look at it here, you can do all this with the Fire Stick 4K. Obviously, this is a much more powerful device. Hexa-core instead of quad-core, 16 gig instead of 8 gigabyte. But if you're going to spend £110 on that, there is a good argument that you just do what Norlis did and get something that's more powerful. Again, it comes down to how you're going to use it, though. You're right, I like it the hard way. No, it's one of those things, it really does come down to, this is the thing for all tech. It really does come down to what your budget is, but also what you need it to do, what you need something to do. And it's like I was saying, I've got no desire to buy an iPhone, but if I looked at lots of videos and the 4K 60 frame per second video, absolutely, if it battered that, if it was amazing compared to that, I would give it consideration. I would look into it. Because it helps me do something that I can't do just now. And it's the same with all these media playing devices. I'm happy with the Fire Stick, but there'll be someone out there who wants to buy a £500 surround sound system, a £300 media playing device. It depends what you want to do with it. Oh, see, I mean, as far as the spying goes, well, this kind of voice-assisted stuff, it is quite worrying how many things now have voice assistants. You're going to have it in cookers and all that. In fact, it'll be there already. All this stuff will be automated. It will all be voice assisted. It will all be connected to the internet. I've not really jumped into the voice assisted world though. I've not really jumped into it, but it's funny though, because I've looked at some of my friends' kids and they'll walk in and they'll just start talking to the speaker. Alexa, play this song. Alexa, do that. And to them, it's just normal because they've grown up with this since they were like 3 years old. And they'll, like, say they're 6 or 7 now. It's just normal to them. This is how they operate stuff. This is how they operate speakers. They don't go over and push the button, which is what I would still gravitate towards doing. I don't use voice assistant yet. I don't use them yet. So you'd think I would actually be at the forefront of this, but I just prefer using it the old school way. Alexa, do my homework. Yeah, I know. Right, I need to text my lady. Tell her I'm live on the internet. You think she would check my channel and see that I'm live? Am I going to EGX in London? No, I haven't planned to go to any kind of tech conferences or anything like that yet. There's a web development conference thing that I was maybe going to go to in Dublin next month, but I haven't booked up for it, so I don't know if I've left it too late to get flights. It's annoying. See, it's even like short flights within the UK and Ireland. They're always really cheap, but then see when you try to book them really late, they get really expensive. You know, with since when did I have a lady? It's a silly question. The last time you talked to me, I had a lady. It was just a different lady. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, you book the flights and you book them at, like, I don't know, like you'd maybe book them for 40, 50. You buy them really cheap. Gets closer to the event. And I've had it before where I was going to go to a conference and at the last minute they wanted 250 or so for a flight from Glasgow to Dublin. It was like a 45-minute flight. Yeah, so you book it last minute, and I'm guilty of that where I try and keep my plans open a little bit, and then I end up I can't go because the flights are ridiculously expensive. There's just something about such a quick flight being expensive that annoys me. I've did this with a few conferences where I've paid over the odds to go because I booked last minute, but I hate planning so far ahead as well. What I was also wanting to talk about was Twitch. So Twitch is something we talked about yesterday, guys. I know Nollis and Hugh and Evo and that were talking about it. As far as Twitch goes, this is my Twitch channel. I've not really changed it yet. I've not added rules or did anything. I added my Twitter feed because it was said add your Twitter feed. So I've added that. And you can see that yesterday I streamed Call of Duty for an hour last night. So, you know, I'm still kind of getting used to the kind of nuances of that as far as Twitch goes. I'm trying to give it a chance. But the question is, I think the question a lot of people in my position would ask is, should you stream to YouTube or should you stream to Twitch? And it's not as black and white as some people make out. I am aware that there's a lot of people who stream on Twitch and they make more money than YouTube. And from what I've read, that seems to be, you know, the case for most of the people. They make more money on Twitch as they do on YouTube. And I've seen a lot of people that they get signed to some exclusive contract where they're actually not permitted or banned from streaming on YouTube. They've got like an exclusive contract to stream on Twitch. They're still allowed to upload videos to YouTube, but they basically want to keep their live streaming to Twitch. So there's a lot of guys, and I've looked at their accounts, and it's like they used to be active on YouTube and they've stopped, and now they're on Twitch. But the question is, should you stream to Twitch or should you stream to YouTube? And I think if you're starting from scratch and you're only going to be doing game streaming, I think for most people, Twitch is still the better option. And I know they've got Mixer in the mix now. You've got Mixer, and I know that YouTube gaming is still growing. But if you look at the way that YouTube works and the way that the app works and the way that it notifies people and just the way that Twitch has got more people there specifically for gaming, I think that Twitch gaming is a better option for people starting. But for me, if I go over to Twitch, it's not like YouTube. Like YouTube, I've got I've got a few thousand subscribers. I've got people who know me, who follow me. I've got people who know me, who follow me, and if I start streaming, I can get 5 or 6 people watching me, or 10 people or something like watching me right away. If I go over to Twitch, that's not the case, and that was proven last night. I did a stream for an hour. I got like 2 viewers max, and no one commented, which is not a surprise really, because there's a lot of people streaming that game. There's a lot of people with thousands of people streaming that game. I've got no followers. I've got no nothing, and you need to grow your following. You need to get people chatting and all that. So I'm not saying that I'm giving up on Twitch, but the reality is that I need to grow a following there before, I get any kind of traction on that platform. I need to build up a following. I need to start being more active on that. And it's another thing that I need to juggle. I've obviously got my website. I've got two YouTube channels. I've got another few things as well. The thing is, though, there's certain types of videos that might be better over there. I think maybe if I'm streaming Call of Duty or first-person shooters, I think Twitch might be a better option. But then there's games like Super Mario and all that, and I'm like, I'd rather play that for my YouTube followers. So I don't know. Kevin, you do YouTube videos first? What? My thoughts on Stadia. I did a video about that, Pericles. I'm sorry if I'm getting your name wrong, but I did a video about that, and basically my thoughts are that it's not something that I was rushing out to buy. Like, if you actually look at the plan, was it £120? You get 3 months free, you get the controller, and you get the what do you call it? The Chromecast, the 4K Chromecast. And if you actually look at the cost of the controller and the 4K Chromecast on its own, then yeah, it's not that bad a price. But you get 3 months free. They've got like a monthly membership thing, which is going to be like £10 a month. The problem with that is that the games that they're giving you free, it's the same situation on Sony and on Xbox. The games aren't great. They're older games. They're a couple of years old. If you want the newer games, if you want the latest games, then you need to pay full price. And you're not going to get any bargains when compared to, buying games on disc or buying games secondhand. So I do like the idea of just having a television with no console, with, and you don't have to go out and spend a lot on expensive hardware. And, you could crunch the numbers and say, well, the price you would pay for an Xbox One X or PS4 Pro or whatever the next generation is, that would give you years of paying, for Stadia. But I think that is the way that down the line, it might be a long time before we get there, but I think Google's step is the step towards where all these companies want to go. Fully digital, fully hosted and all that. But in the short term, I'd like to try it. I'd try the 1080p version when it comes out and just buy a game. But as far as paying all that money for the controller and all that, I'd rather use one of my own controllers, and I'd rather just, sign up for the monthly membership thing to try it. But it's one of those things. I'll try it to see what it's like, but I'm not that excited about it. I'm more excited about the new PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox One, whatever that is. Evo, streaming a very popular game is not wise. You're competing against popular streamers. I've kind of read conflicting advice about that. Some people say that you should, so that people will start following you. And what you do is you go to people who are also streaming that game, start chatting to them and all that. But I'm a grown-ass man. I don't have time to spend 5 hours watching videos making small talk to people. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just stream, play the game. But I don't know. I don't know how... I mean, obviously, I'm not starting from scratch. I do have a website. I do have my recording set up. A lot of people who start on these platforms from scratch, they don't have a very good setup when it comes to the mic, when it comes to the cameras and things like that. I've got a lot of that set up already, and I've got a little bit of a following on YouTube, and maybe some of you guys would go over and give me a head start. But as far as... it's one of those things, I don't want to go chasing the games that are popular. I'd rather just play the games I want to play, whether that be old 80s games or 90s games or a Call of Duty game or the Mario game. I want to play the games that are important to me. I wouldn't just go and follow what I think will get me viewers. I don't want to go down that route. I want to do... I mean, at the end of the day, the game streaming thing, yes, I don't know if I'll ever make money from it, but it's something I need to enjoy, or I just won't do it. There's a lot of other things I could do that would make me more money. You can't stream Super Mario. That's not true, Hugh. That isn't true. Check my channel. Check my channel from a few days ago. Nintendo went back on that a long time ago. There's no hardware, just streaming. Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell with Stadia how it goes. You know, time will tell how it actually ends up being like in practice. South Park Phone Destroyer. I love South Park. I'll need to check that out. Yeah, they have, Hugh. Check my channel. I streamed Super Mario the other day. Absolutely zero problem streaming. They've not copyrighted my video. They've not did anything. It's fine. It's fine. One thing I will say though about YouTube versus Twitch, and someone pointed this out, and it is 100% true, is that you talk about there about a Nazi company. I know that's a kind of cliche calling someone a Nazi, but YouTube still has a lot to learn about the way they handle things. Apparently, for example, I've talked about this before, and I know a lot of YouTubers have talked about it, and it's probably very boring to listen to, but YouTube's copyright system and their ban system is completely archaic, and it really does push people away from the platform. I've talked about this before. I reviewed a screwdriver kit I've got back there. I bought it from Amazon. I said, hey, this is a really good kit if you want to fix your computer. And I got banned for 3 months from live streaming because someone said, hey, that's a fake. I got banned for 3 months. I wasn't allowed to live stream. And it's one of those things as well. You get 3 black marks against your account. YouTube just delete your account. And there's no one to phone, no one to talk to. You're on your own. Apart from going into a discussion forum with millions of other people with similar problems. But apparently Twitch are better in that regard. You know, if, for example, you play, say upload. So the way it works on YouTube is, say I upload, see this live stream, in fact, see this live stream. This happened to me. I did a 6-hour live stream. I might have even 8 hours. And I played a 30-second clip, or in fact, it was less than that. It was like 15 seconds of Ace Ventura on a video because someone said a joke and I showed them Ace Ventura. A company claimed that whole video, all 6 hours. Now, that video didn't have any advertisements on it, but they put an ad on it. So they now display a banner on that video. And what YouTube do is they send you an email saying they've claimed this video, we're taking it off you. They get the revenue 100%. 100, not even like 10, they get 100% of the video. And what they say in the email is you can contest this, but if it does not go in your favor, we'll remove the video and we'll put a black mark against your account. And again, it's like 3 strikes, you're out. So what do? You're not going to risk your account getting banned, so you just let this company steal your revenue. And that whole setup is bad. But apparently Twitch is really good in this regard. If you're playing music in a video and, you know, in the background or whatever it is when you're playing a game, they'll just stop that video from being monetized or whatever. There's no black marks against your account. You're not going to get banned. There's nothing like that. I think they've got a really, you know, from the sounds of it, they've got a much better setup. 1 follow, 5 press ups, the quickest way of gaining followers. Amazon packing is unbelievably bad. Just had a delivery when it was open at both ends. Yeah, that's bad. I had one a few weeks ago, and in fact, it was the PlayStation Classic, which I've got sitting over there still to open one day, but probably about a month until I get to it. But the guy, I was out, and I just got a parcel, an update, sorry, and it said, your parcel has been handed to the resident, and I'm thinking, no, it hasn't. And I got home about 2 or 3 hours later, and it was just sitting on my doorstep in the rain. And in an area, you know, there's a path close to my house. People walk by all the time, and I don't know how someone didn't take it. The guy just sat it down on the doorstep and walked away. And I was like, the box is absolutely soaking wet. And the guy's like, oh, just send it back. I'm like, well, I'm not going to wait another few days. The actual box was okay. So I was just like, oh, never mind. Damn support chat. Do I still own my own pair? I was never a boxer. I did Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai and Taekwondo for years. Do I have any boxing gloves? Yeah, I still do boxing every week. I'm not a boxer, but I do like a boxing class thing, a little circuit class. As far as gloves, I don't know how many pairs I've got. Probably about 7 or 8. Just from old ones over the years. I don't understand why there's no more options out of YouTube. What are you referring to there, Pericles? It's maybe something I was talking about a second ago. I know I'm getting your name wrong as well. I am conscious of that. I am conscious of the fact that I'm probably saying your name wrong. I do buy stuff. I buy most stuff from Amazon, no less. One, because it's just easy, the next day delivery. There's a lot of stuff as well. Say I'm recording a video and I need to do it the next day. I can get same day delivery, and there's a lot of things I can get delivered that day. Adapters and different things for, like recording. So I use them a lot for that. But also I submit Amazon reviews. I think I'm like 120 or something in the UK. And because their online support is pretty terrible and all that. I know it's all automated and they use people that can't speak English, but the return policy is really good. And I've went through returns with other companies and it's an absolute pain. With Amazon, it is zero hassle. If you just click, return the item, you print it out, you send it back. But the delivery aspect of Amazon is very, very annoying, and it annoys every so often. Something like that happens to me too, and it really does piss me off. Not Vimeo, not Twitch, YouTube kind of. Wait, I need to look at your other comments. Pericles, I don't know if I'm missing something. Pericles, I don't understand why there's no more options out of YouTube. Not Vimeo, not Twitch, YouTube kind of. Oh, you mean like alternatives to YouTube? And in the game streaming world, the one that's made the kind of biggest foray into it recently is Mixer. I know that Ninja guy went to Mixer, and it's a Microsoft company, so they've obviously got money. So, Vimeo, I don't think Vimeo is an alternative to YouTube, and I don't think Facebook video is. Facebook is just piracy. They allow people to upload videos and then monetize them and things. But Vimeo, you get really high quality video. You don't have to put it through the paces, and then the bit rate, the actual video quality is higher. That's why a lot of artists use it. But Vimeo is not really designed for the masses. It's more like a niche thing now. But Twitch, I mean, I'm still getting used to Twitch. There's a lot of things with Twitch that I still need to learn about. I mean, I was seeing how you can subscribe to someone, but if you've got Amazon Prime, they, instead of paying £6 per month, you're allowed one free subscription, so you can subscribe to your favourite person. One of the things, I've been talking a little bit about YouTube versus Twitch, but I am tempted. I still want to do the occasional kind of game stream and videos, on YouTube, but I want to stream to Twitch a little bit more as well. It would be good to get a following over there. I don't like the fact that videos aren't kept. I do like that aspect of YouTube where you stream, and then if someone wants to go back a year later and watch your stream, they can. I don't know if they would, but they can if they want, and I do like that aspect of it. I know that Twitch has got functionality where you can edit videos and then send it to YouTube and all that, but that's more work. I can't be bothered with all that. I'd rather just stream somewhere and let it all auto-process. But they are doing some good things on Twitch as well, and I do realise as well that I do a lot of different things on my channel. I talk about travel and phones and games, and I realise that I talk about a lot of different subjects, but I know as well, if I started streaming games 50% of the time, a lot of people might be pissed off with that because they're there for the phone and all that kind of stuff, the phone talk and the tech talk. And whilst I do want to keep gaming on my channel, I don't want to alienate every single person. But I don't know. I don't want to over analyze that either, because at the end of the day, I don't want to do videos for the sake of videos. This is something I would say to anyone who's doing Twitch or YouTube or anything, is that you need to enjoy yourself. You need to enjoy yourself. See when you start doing videos for money, it's work, and then you stop enjoying it, and then no less. Regarding Amazon's return policy, they need to be good because they're so terrible in most other ways. Otherwise, no effort would buy anything from them. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see that point. I mean, that whole delivery process, it's like slave labour, basically, in the UK. Thanks, Evo. I mean, the thing is with travel videos is I would like to do some videos when I'm out and about, but I think because I record so much and because I do so much work from home, when I'm on holiday, sometimes it's good to do a video, but I don't want to have to edit videos a lot. So, you know, I'm going away for a few days next week. I could do a couple of videos using my phone, but I wouldn't want to spend a long time editing. At the end of the day, I'm on holiday. But, you know, other times, I would like to do that every so often, though. Put some videos on, some videos when I'm out and about. I used to Twitch, but some tablets cleared that up. But on that note, guys, what I'm going to do actually is take a 5-10 minute break, and then I'm going to go into Twitch and try and game stream, because I streamed late last night. So maybe if I do it, earlier on, maybe a little bit better. Early on videos in Bogota. Yeah, that was it's been years. It's been years since that. God, that must be several years now. I forget how long you've been subscribing to me, Evo. Yeah, I probably should do more videos like that, and I probably should do more videos with friends and videos and that. I was chatting to my friend Michael. We went out. I was saying this to Nollis. I'm going to do a video show you guys his car. We're going to go out and do a big long drive. And we went out to do it the other night, and then he was a little bit limited in time, but it was getting dark as well. So we decided to do it another day. So we're going to get out in his car one day, but we need to get a day where it's preferably get out in the morning, and we'll go out and we'll go for a drive. I'd like to do videos in the car like that. But, you know, I'd like to even do some hill walks and stuff, and that's the kind of thing where I could probably take the camera as well. But there's a lot of editing involved in that kind of stuff, as far as you need to look at the, you know, piece everything together and all that. But yeah, I would do that from time to time. Love you long time. I've not seen that film in years. Right, guys, so I am going to take a 5-10 minute break, and then I'm going to jump over to Twitch and play some Call of Duty. Can you hear this button? That was the PlayStation 4 getting switched on. So yeah, I'm going to stream there. I've left a link there. If you want to keep watching me, I'm going to jump over there, and I'm going to stream there. And yeah, I'll see how it goes. It's going to take me a while to get a following over there, but I'm going to stream and then, you know, just see what happens. At the end of the day, I'm not starting from scratch per se. I've got a good recording setup now. I've got everything in place. I've got a decent mic and all that. I've got some sort of following out there as well. Oh, thanks, Pericles. That's very nice of you. Cheers, mate. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to jump over to Twitch, and I'm not starting from scratch per se, because I've got the experience and knowledge of streaming before. And as far as whether Twitch or YouTube is better, a lot of the things that I'm basing that on is just my experience with YouTube, and then checking out Twitch last night and reading some articles. I really do need to spend some time over on that platform to get a better understanding of what's good and what's not. So thanks for everyone who has been commenting. It's been a really good stream, guys. This is the thing with live streams. When all you guys turn up and you all start commenting, it's always a really good video. We always get really good discussions. The YouTube's that kind of funny sometimes though, because it doesn't update everyone all the time. It's a little bit strange. But these kind of live streams, you guys make them as far as the comments go. You always drive where the discussion goes. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing, commenting, and all that. I will love you guys long time, to steal Nollis's statement there. But I'm going to jump over to Twitch in 5-10 minutes. So you'll see me on Twitch there. I've just left the link there if you want to jump over. And yeah, I'm going to... where's the remote control? I'll get the TV on for a start. I'm going to get... There, is it on yet? It's not on yet, is it? No, I've not got it on yet. I'm trying to load up. Let me see, is this on? Load up. Ah, I've just realised I've got an HDMI switch and I've got 3 consoles plugged in, and I've got it's defaulted to 1 instead of 3. I need to buy one of those HDMI switches where I can use the remote control. I need to buy that. They're cheap. Anyway, I digress, guys. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend if I don't speak to you. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys all very soon. Cheers, guys.